Hey, what's up? Kevin here again. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the onion growing project. Since my last video, you can see I rearranged my shop a little bit. I painted that wall in the back and moved some things around, so hopefully there's a little better backdrop. Anyway, these onions I started the first week of January. It is now the first week of March, so we've got about 8 weeks. We're about 8 weeks into it, and I'm really happy so far with their progress. Some of these are 8 to 10 inches tall. There's no sign of green algae or any other kind of disease. A lot of them, the roots are already starting to come out of the bottom of the pot, which is a really good sign. I've read in places that when they get this tall that they would benefit from snipping the tops off, and that the theory is that they're supposed to grow, thicker and bushier, kind of like trimming a hedge or something. But I've tried that in the past and I've gotten mixed results, so I'm still debating on whether or not I want to do that. I don't know, I might try it on a couple and just do a little more experimenting, but I definitely have grown them many years without trimming the tops, and they do just fine. So, I mean, although it would be nicer if these were a little thicker when you plant them. The bigger they are, the easier they are to plant into the garden. So, we'll see. So the other thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention in the last video is that onion seeds don't store real well more than a year. Some of these I use seed from the previous year, and maybe even 2 years ago, and you can see the results are very pitiful. This superstar, there's literally 3 onions in this, and I knew the germination would be lower, but that's awful. So compared to seeds that I bought this year, there's a big difference. But I just can't throw seeds away. It's just I want to give them a chance at life. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, I basically wasted a pot full of potting mix for 3 onions. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about is my plans this summer to hopefully sell some of my stuff locally. One of my neighbors was telling me that the little community that I live in, I've only been here for 2 years, but they have a market every Saturday in downtown from 8 a.m. until noon, and that's only about a mile from my house. I didn't even know it existed. And it's a farmer's market, but it's also a craft and woodworking and art market as well. Although the crafts and the art and the woodworking have to be approved by a jury, so that before you can sell them there. I don't know exactly why. I guess there's limited space, and I don't know if there's some image they're trying to build, so they want to approve the art, whatever, I don't know. So I'm trying to get a spot selling my my woodworking, which mainly right now is kitchen related items: spoons, spatulas, soup ladles, bagel slicer, recipe book rack, just things like that, small things that I could put on a table. And the other thing, in addition to the woodworking, when I was talking to my neighbor, she knows that I used to have a small organic vegetable farm way back at the turn of the last century, believe it or not, literally. And I used to sell wholesale vegetables to restaurants. I got out of that around 2005, and I no longer live in that. I used to have property out in the country and had a lot of space. Now I live in town, but I still have a pretty big backyard, and most of it's just lawn, but it's really good soil here in Illinois. The topsoil is phenomenal compared to where I lived in Missouri, where everything was clay. But I'm going to try to expand, and maybe I'm not going to be able to grow vegetables per se, because I just don't have that kind of space or that kind of time. But herbs and cut flowers, which I grow already now, I think I'm just going to grow more. I've started about 10 basil plants here, which is more than my usual 2 that I grow every year. And I've also started 8 chili pepper plants. And I've been growing vegetables long enough to know which things are more productive than others, and you're going to get a lot more chili peppers off of a plant than bell peppers. And I've always found them way easier to grow far fewer diseases to worry about. They mature more quickly. And then the herbs, you know, I already grow a lot of perennials, sage and thyme and oregano and mint. I'll just plant a few more of those, and then with these basil plants, and then I bought I'm going to make a cut flower garden as well, and maybe combine, you know, the cut flowers with, you know, some of the basil that I let go to flower. You know, not only is basil a wonderful seasoning, but it's, you know, a very beautiful plant when you let it go to flower. So maybe I can combine that, and my neighbor grows zinnias, so maybe we can combine all the different things and make some flower bouquets. So really, if there's anyone out there that does that kind of thing or has done that thing, I would welcome any advice or tips, you know, on that subject, because like I said, I grew vegetables and sold them wholesale, but I've never really sold in a market like that. I've never sold my woodworking at a market either. I sell online, but, you know, I've never sat at a table with them to sell. So that's going to be, you know, interesting, setting up a display, and I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about that. But anyway, I welcome any advice, and I'm starting to ramble, I know. Just wanted to show you what the onions look like right now. If you like this video, do the thing, subscribe. I'm going to be making more in the future, and I'll see you next time.